And then there were two. Back again with my man, the one and only
Dank father.
And your boy, Master Bruce CB. The Golden State Warriors versus the Celtics. The finals. Oh, baby. Here we are. It's been a long road to get here. And I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty excited for the matchup.
Yeah, man. Celtics Warriors, man. Game 1. A few days away, man.
Thursday. Today's Monday, Memorial Day. Shout out to all the veterans.
Yeah. Shout out all the veterans.
We appreciate your service.
Nah, that's a fact. Man, I'm a little torn, man. I've been sitting here thinking that I don't think ever in my life the two teams I wanted to make the finals actually made the finals. So
yeah, that's big.
It's a little bittersweet right now, even though I'm not really a fan of both teams, but I'm a huge fan of a couple players on each teams.
You did call the Warriors on wax. You did call the Warriors in one of our first breakdowns of the first round.
Yeah.
So I gotta give you a shout out to that.
And I think I also said in a video that I kind of wanted the Celtics to beat the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah,
because I just had a feeling that they were going to break up Tatum and Brown prematurely, just like off of just some nonsense.
And to that point, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they heard the noise because they embraced after the win, the Game 7 victory, saying they said we couldn't play together. So they definitely heard the noise. They definitely knew that if they didn't win or they didn't produce, it was going to be, maybe some writing on the wall. So
yeah, so
I do like that.
Yeah, Celtics Warriors, man. It's a intriguing matchup. We're in for some good basketball.
For sure.
We're in for some good basketball. Top players: Steph Curry, Clay, Draymond. They've been at it for a little minute.
Is this their final chance in the finals? Is this their last chance to be on top?
I think they'll be back.
They have enough tools.
I think they got the tools. Yeah. If Poole continues to develop,
young player,
they got 2 high draft picks.
Yeah, Kuminga is a player. The stat I said last time, on a short list of teenagers with over 15-point plus games in the playoffs. With Kobe Bryant, I can't remember the other name.
Carmelo was in that. Carmelo was on that list.
Shout out to Melo.
All the elite teenagers that put work in the league early. Kuminga's on that list. That's a fact. And they got Wiseman.
Yeah, people completely forgot about Wiseman. Yeah, he's waiting in the wins.
Yeah, they're waiting in the wins. I think Curry's showing that he's far from finished. Clay's bounced back. Draymond's in phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
He's playing good basketball. Probably the best basketball of his career, honestly. In a mental.
Yeah.
Point. At his
for
mental
sure.
point.
He's facilitating at a level that's crazy. Andrew Wiggins. I have to scream his name because, again, I feel like we haven't talked about him enough throughout the process of these videos. Andrew Wiggins. I had to say his name. He's been phenomenal. Again, I like the way he's bounced back from being what a lot of people say was a quote-unquote underachiever. And I just like the way he showed.
He's only in his 8th season, if I'm not mistaken. So he's still there.
Young,
he's there moving forward as well. I don't think this is the last run. Couple teams are gonna retool. The Clippers, we're awaiting the arrival of Kawhi. They'll retool and they'll be in the mix. Any team with LeBron James, they're gonna retool and
I just asked from an age standpoint is Steph Curry, but again I agree with you. His skill set and his style of play is really tough to see him deteriorating because again handle and jump shot don't leave you.
Yeah,
the quickness might, but you're in such fear of his jumper that you automatically give him space. So once he can close that space with the handle, it just creates another dynamic.
You think he could play at this level till about 38?
This level's to 38. So again, let's break the game down. In a way, I'm not gonna quite bite.
He's 34 right now.
He's 34. When's his birthday?
March 14th.
So that means So that means he'll be 34 for most of the next season. 4 more seasons till 30. Well, 3 more seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Barring injury, yeah. If we're just saying just father time, yes.
Yeah.
Because again, like I said, he has a skill set that isn't predicated on athleticism.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, or form, and he can pass at elite level. So if you do try to double team him, he can still get guys open. And like I said, he's the greatest shooter of all time. So you automatically give him space, and if you try to eat up that space, he can get by you with his handle more so than just pure athleticism. So
yeah, it's a new age in the NBA. I feel that same way about Steph. I also feel that same way about Dame Lillard, barring injury. These guys' game are just on a different level and different style. So I definitely think they could definitely put up prime numbers in those latter stages of their NBA career. But I agree. I think definitely Curry could play at this elite level at 38 years old.
What do you think, to go back to this finals, what do you think is going to be the main focus for the Warriors? Like, how do you think they're going to try to attack?
That's a good question. Same way they did Luka. I think they're going to give Tatum and Brown everything. I think they're going to try to shut down everybody else.
Okay, so single cover them with a Wiggins. So who gets Tatum?
Wiggins starts with Tatum, and they put Clay on Brown.
Okay.
They put Clay on. They put
Clay
on Brown, and Draymond and Looney's there for help defense. But I think
and they funnel the offense towards Marcus Smart and Horford and Williams.
Try to make those guys hit big shots. So they've been playing big. And they've been showing up in big moments. So I think the style of play Steve Kerr likes to put out there, I think that's the mindset he's going into the series where he's going to say, let's make Smart and Horford and these other guys beat us. I think that's how they're going to attack them defensively. Offensively, the regular, a lot of screens, a lot of movement, and try to get these guys tired. I think they'll probably
foul trouble for sure.
Foul trouble. Celtics conditioning is going. We're going to see where their conditioning is.
Especially coming off that Game 7.
Yeah, we're going to see where their conditioning is coming up against the Warriors.
Because even though Warriors going to have home court, so even though they do have these couple of days, they have to still fly to California. So that kind of takes up a day of rest. And then 2 days of rest. I mean, that's pretty good. But the Warriors are going to wait, about 5 days, 6 days?
Yeah.
I think on offense, they're going to have to make an adjustment because the adjustment they made to beat the Mavericks, was to go inside. But I don't think the Celtics are going to allow them to go inside.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The Celtics aren't going to allow them to eat up the paint with Al Horford playing, with Robert Williams playing. And then Grant Williams is going to be playing, probably on Draymond Green, things like that. So
probably throw Theus out there as a body. It's the last 7 games of the season. So.
And Theus is pretty good on the pick and roll defense. Theus is pretty good on showing.
Yeah.
He's pretty good on running the floor, getting, pesky rebounds, pesky plays. Then on top of that, he's shooting 3 ball a little better as well. So, I think they're gonna have to find an alternative. Now again, the Golden State Warriors ain't never been scared to shoot a 3. They never seen a 3 they didn't like. So I don't think that's necessarily something that they're gonna run from. But be that as it may, like I said, they're gonna have to make that adjustment. Is Looney? I don't think Looney's gonna be able to get a 21 point game like he did against the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Because they have the interior of defense to stop that.
That's a great point.
But I do agree with you with the on the defensive side. I think they probably try to make Tatum but see, it's kind of tough because they got two.
Yeah,
the Mavericks only had one Luka.
They got two.
Now, granted, we did highlight the games where there were 3 20-point scorers with Brunson and Dinwiddie.
Dinwiddie.
So there were times where there were 3 20-point scorers, but Brunson isn't Brown. And, you know what I'm saying? And that being said, I don't know if they're going to be... I'm interested to see that. I'm not sure. I think Kuminga's going to have to play. Kuminga's going to have to play the series.
Kuminga's going to have to play.
Kuminga's going to have to play. He's going to... I think... Look, here's the first hot take. I think Kuminga's going to average over 20 minutes a series.
Almost definitely.
At least in the wins, at minimum in the wins. Because he's going to be another athletic body that is not a liability in offense, but can raise the level on defense that I'm not disrespecting Klay Thompson and saying he can't still be at, but coming off the injuries, coming up in age, he might not be able to defend that.
Maybe even Golden State shakes their lineup up.
Yeah,
puts one big man out there.
Yeah,
force the Celtics to.
That is another kind
of move.
One interesting thought, I guess, big picture. These are two franchises. If recency bias will make you forget, they are pretty much on opposite ends of the spectrum as far as success. The Golden State Warriors for a long time were, the Knicks, pretty much. So Mark Jackson came, laid the foundation, and they had that, this great run that they're on now. They were a terrible franchise. The Celtics, as we alluded to, have gone to half of the Eastern Conference Finals to ever, be played in. As we know, they got the most championships of any franchise. So it's interesting to see from that aspect. So with that being said, with the Celtics, I think the Celtics are going to need Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to really take that next step. They're going to have to take this. They're going to have to both play together. Like they can't take turns. They can't take turns. Oh, one game you get 30 and I get 10 points. One game, they have to both average over 24.
LeBron, Kyrie.
They need a dynamic punch, because the only way you're gonna beat the Warriors is you're gonna have to score. Yeah. So these 100-point games, this is cute playing against the Heat, scoring 82 points. That's not gonna happen against the Warriors. The Warriors are not gonna score under 107. Yeah. They're not gonna score under 107. Yeah. And I'm feeling spicy calling scores since I was right with the Heat.
So, no, that's a fact.
So they're not scoring under 107.
No, that's a fact.
So with that being said, Marcus Smart is going to have to continue to facilitate. He's going to need a big defensive series. We need a big defensive series from Marcus Smart.
It's going to be tough to see if he could pull all of that out offensively, because he's going to have his hands full with Steph Curry.
Absolutely.
His hands full.
Because I think to go to the Celtics defensive strategy, I think they're going to put Marcus Smart on Steph Curry and then let Jason Brown hold Klay Thompson. And then, I think you put Tatum on Wiggins. Or maybe even switch that. Actually, you might switch that. I might put Jaylen Brown on Tatum. On Klay Thompson.
Tatum on Thompson and Brown on Wiggins.
Yeah.
Either or. That's why before we start recording, I was running through the matchups in my mind. Really, they could change everything.
Exactly. You really can switch everything to a sense. You can switch everything from that guard position.
Yeah. Because you could even throw Smart on Thompson and then have Brown on Curry at moments. Give them that length.
Yeah.
It's a tough matchup, man. This is actually the finals I wanted when Kyrie was with Boston and Kevin Durant was with the Warriors. This was the finals that I wanted.
You wanted to see
back then in what was it, 2019?
Okay.
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah. So like I said, you look at the lineup, the final game versus the Mavericks. The starting lineup for the Warriors were Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kayvon Looney. So
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be changing that up.
Yeah, so assuming they go with that because of the size matchup with the Celtics, like we talked about, you put Marcus Smart on Steph Curry, and then I said you can flip a coin, Jason Tatum and Brown on Wiggins and Thompson, Draymond Green, Al Horford, and then Rob Williams with Looney.
Yeah.
You know, that's a
You can change those.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So really, like, you can almost switch
everything.
You almost switch everything. So that's gonna help. That's gonna help on the 3-point shots.
Like I said, Smart could guard Thompson, and then Brown could guard Curry.
Exactly.
And give Curry a different look. So this is gonna be a great series, man.
I'm actually, again, we gave the Heat their accolades. I'm really happy that the Celtics were able to win it because I do think they would have gave a better matchup. Like I said, I don't think the Heat can score with the Celtics. So, I'm very happy that the Celtics were able to win from that perspective.
How do you think Celtics attack the Warriors offensively?
I think they attack Steph Curry.
Yeah.
They pick and roll until they get Steph Curry. And then, like I said, they play through Tatum and Brown.
Yeah.
I think you even might even see Marcus Smart get a couple post-ups. I wouldn't be shocked to see Marcus Smart attack Steph Curry on some post-ups, things like that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because they might even let Marcus Smart go one-on-one.
Yeah.
So like I said, to tire her out. If like say they're fighting through the screen, they're not switching.
Yeah.
To try to combat like that, the Warriors that is.
Yeah.
So
it's strong, man. Even going back to the defense, man, they got a guy like Peyton Pritchard, could possibly be a nuisance to Curry, annoy him.
Yeah. Similar to that
Similar
to that Mike
Dellavedova, they got White there.
Derek White can play big fantasy. That's another thing. Derek White is another guard they can throw out on Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? You said the Peyton Pritchard, they have the Marcus Smart. They have a lot of defensive guards.
Yeah.
That, like I said, fight through screens. They're agile. Defense first. Yeah. They said Derek White's a defense first guard. Yeah. Marcus Smart, the defensive first guard. Jaylen Brown, for what it's worth, is defensive first guard.
Yeah.
So
wing player, yep. Guard wing player, yep.
Yeah, forward, yes. You know what I'm saying? So like I said,
it's a strong matchup, man.
I think they're gonna present something to the Warriors that they may not have seen quite yet. So it's gonna be interesting. So is it time you want to just go ahead to the?
Let's get to a point I just made. This was the finals I wanted in 2019. It's not shy over. Those two best players on those teams at that time was Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. They're no longer on those teams, and they're in Brooklyn, and now those teams are back in the finals. What's your take on that?
It's very unfortunate when we're telling the story of these brothers that, as of late, that's the latest chapter, because again, that's and then Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? That's where people are gonna harp on. I mean, it's just hard. It's hard not to, but I guess I have a little different respect because I'm a Knicks fan, and I'll make the point is the Patrick Ewing, right? So some of the best runs that the Knicks had when Patrick Ewing was hurt. Does that mean we were better without Patrick Ewing? You know what I mean? Like yeah. It's tough. When you go to the Warriors, you look at the Warriors. So in year one, when they won the championship in 2015, a player was hurt every single series.
And no Oklahoma City Thunder.
We can go back. We don't have to harp on exactly who was hurt, but I remember the 2015. That was an injury played. That was an injury played year that they won. 2016 is a 3-1 comeback.
Yeah.
And then 2017 is when Kevin Durant came and they won back-to-back finals. So Kevin Durant won back-to-back finals MVP. So you can't sit here and say that they would be the Warriors of today 100% without Kevin Durant, because that would just not be true.
That's a fact.
When you look at it from that standpoint, and then you take a next step to say, like I said, against the Raptors, he gets hurt, they lose. When they face another great player in Kawhi Leonard, you know what I mean? So he was the best again because LeBron James was playing great in those series that they won.
He was,
even though they swept them in winning 5 games. LeBron James was playing great. Not to mention the 51-point beautiful, majestic game he played with the infamous J.R. Smith moment, which, again, I don't understand why people don't give more swipe to George Hill for missing the free throw. Shout out to J.R. Smith for doing big things in college.
Nah, that's a fact. Shout out to him going back, playing golf and
doing his thing, getting his high GPA, all that.
Word, nah, that's a fact. Getting his education and all that.
But yeah, so when you look at that, Kevin Durant, you can say he saved them. Now again, the foundation was so great that when you add a player like Kevin Durant, it just takes him over the top. That's what made basketball fans and pundits alike so frustrated.
Yeah.
It wasn't that they needed Kevin Durant to be a championship contender. It's because it made the difference so great that it wasn't fair. Like, it wasn't even fair basketball. So, but again, he was the best player. He was the best player on those two teams. And like I said, he carried them through the Clippers when they took them to 6 games.
Yeah. Yep.
So, like I said, 1 to 2 Finals MVPs. Now the Kyrie Irving, that's a little tougher. Like I said, Kyrie Irving is one of my personal favorite basketball players. One of the last players that wasn't a Knicks. Actually, the last player that wasn't a Knicks player that I bought their sneaker and Olympic shirt. So I spent harder money that I worked hard for on a non-Knicks player. It was for Kyrie Irving. So I really like Kyrie Irving. But again, when you go to the Celtics, you're talking about you're talking about one of the most successful franchises in sports. Let alone basketball, where you can't argue they're not top 2. So, you know what I mean? They had it pumping. Yeah. They had things working. When he was hurt, they already went to the Eastern Conference Finals. So, it's like I said, it looks bad. It looks real bad.
Yeah.
But I think it's a slight to really to take a step further. Kyrie Irving should be top 75.
Nah, that's a fact.
He should have been on top 75.
That's a fact.
I don't. I know the whole you got to take somebody off. I don't want to disrespect my ass. A conversation for another day, but
nah, that's a fact.
So yeah, that's definitely. What's your thoughts on it?
It's the same approach that you just made, man. 2 well-oiled machines,
offensive savants.
Yeah, they're gonna retool. I mean, I'm speaking into like the Warriors organization, the Celtics organization. They were gonna retool regardless. So we're here to debunk that narrative that's gonna be put out there. We know it's gonna be put out there. I feel a little iffy about Kyrie in the 2019 year. I think they could have got the job done that year, but I don't hold it against them. Really, they were a talented team though, but that'll probably be like my only slight to the whole situation, that whole conversation. 2 top flight organizations, they're gonna retool no matter what, and as you see, that's what they did.
I will say this, on this before we go back to our finals predictions. If they would have came to the Knicks, it might have been a little sweeter.
Nah, that's a fact.
Even in the losses, it would have been a little sweeter. Now, granted, the dark days wouldn't have been as bad because you know what I mean. It's already not a story anymore. We probably still would have been. It probably would have been a news story still had they been on the Knicks. But hey, but I ain't mad at you. Listen, life goes on. You made your decision. You grown men. I ain't mad. Listen, you can't hold that against you. So finals predictions: Golden State Warriors, Boston Celtics. I'm gonna say the young boys do it, man. The Celtics, Boston Celtics, they break through. Like I said, they've been knocking on the door. They got revenge on the Brooklyn Nets. They got revenge on the Milwaukee Bucks. They got revenge on the Miami Heat. And now I think it's time for the young brothers to write their own path, write their own destiny, put their name in the great duos of all time with a championship. The Boston Celtics, like I said, they've been knocking on the door for a while, 3 of the 4 last Eastern Conference Finals. I think it's the Boston Celtics time. And again, this is coming from a person that I definitely hate the Celtics. So this is not any bias for them in any way, shape, or form. But like I said, I do like the young guys, and I like what they're putting out. And I think it's their time. Boston Celtics in 7. I think the Warriors, they are going to put up a punch. Yeah, I think they have the home court advantage. They're going to be able to. They're not going to go down lightly. They're going to have to figure each other out. It's going to have to. the Celtics are gonna have some up and down games. But like I said, that 107 is the minimum for the Warriors. So, and like I said, against the Warriors defense isn't as physical as the Heat, so they should be able to, get to the basket a little more efficiently than they did. Like I said, I think they can match and or beat the Warriors on the rebounding and interior. So yeah, I got the Boston Celtics. Boston stand up. Shout out to my man Marcus. It's the Celtics time. Dank father.
Man, like I said earlier, man, this might be the first time in my life that the two teams, when I looked at the playoff format in the beginning of the playoffs, the two teams that I wanted to reach the finals actually reached the finals. So this is a tough pick. I actually flipped the coin.
Old school style.
Yeah, I flipped the coin.
For viewers that don't know, I've known this man a long time. Known him since 5th grade. And in high school, we used to make a draft playoff tree, and he would flip a coin to see who would win. That would be one of those old school things. So that's just a little fun fact with the coin flip.
Nah, that's a fact. But, yeah, I did the coin flip, and I gave Warriors heads. I gave the Celtics tails. And ended up going to 7 games with the Warriors. But
put your name on it, man. Put your name on it.
I think I'm going to go Celtics in 6, man. I'm going to go Celtics with 6.
He switched up on it. I ain't mad. Hey, listen, he went on wax. I like it.
I think Celtics in 6. I think this Celtics team kind of reminds me of that Celtics team in 08, where they went 7 games, a couple series.
Yeah, the Hawks first round. Yeah.
And took them 7 games, maybe 2 series that year.
Yeah. Was it Cleveland in 7 as well in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah. So who was it in the first? Oh wait, it was Chicago first round.
No, it was Atlanta Hawks the first round.
Hawks first round. You sure?
I'm pretty sure that big 3 team.
Yeah.
First they went to. It was the Hawks game 7.
Yeah.
Now maybe I'm not sure. I'm kind of iffy on the Cleveland game 7 in Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
But
And then they ended up finishing the Lakers, the great Kobe, in 6. So I think that's where my heart is swinging, man. Celtics in 6. I think the Heat was the last tough test, man.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna figure it out right now, and I think they're gonna take the Warriors out.
Yeah, like it went from, like I said, just from the revenge tour, and like they had the bully at the end.
Yeah.
And the Miami Heat was the bully at the end.
Yeah.
They got the quote unquote lucky streak with Middleton being out, but hey, injuries are a part of the game. They swept the Brooklyn Nets, so that was a no-doubter.
Yep.
So I agree with you. Like I said, we don't plan this. It's real authentic. It just so happens that we both picked the Celtics. It is what it is. We're gonna check it out. We're gonna we'll see. We're gonna see with the format how we're gonna do these series, especially with the days in between. We'll check it out. Comment. Let us know. Let us know when you want us to tap in. Let us know what you want us to touch on. Yes, like I said, we appreciate you listening. If you want to find the podcast, you can find it on Spotify as well as YouTube, Master Bruce CB. On Twitter, Master Bruce CB. Instagram, just Master Bruce. And if you want to find the one and only
Dank Father on all social media platforms, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Don't hoe us like you don't know us. We appreciate you.